Hello everyone, my name is DM Rawlings, the 10-Minute DM. I am an experienced Forge in the Dark GM, and I'm here to offer some advice, 10 minutes at a time. So today we're going to start a new series where I talk about other Forge in the Dark games and why I like them. And first up here, we're going to be covering one of my favorites, Slugblaster. And there's actually a very special reason that I'm doing Slugblaster first, and that's because it's currently up for its second print run on Backerkit, where it's currently met its funding goal and has collected over $33,000 as of time of this filming, with 7 days left to go. So I wanted to talk about it in case it might spur your interest. So, Slugblaster is a Game of the Year winning Forge in the Dark game set in an alternative version of the late 90s, early noughts, where you play as bored teenagers in a middle-of-nowhere small town who ride around on hoverboards, sneak into other dimensions, record themselves doing some sick tricks, get into trouble with the local flora and fauna, and then try to avoid getting grounded by their parents. The way the game describes it is, in the small town of Hillview, teenage hoverboarders sneak into other dimensions to explore, film tricks, go viral, and get away from the problems at home. It's dangerous, it's stupid, it's got parent groups in a panic, and it's the coolest thing ever. This is Slugblaster, a tabletop RPG about teenagehood, giant bugs, circuit-bent ray guns, and trying to be cool. So I thought I should probably start off here by disclosing some of my biases. I am currently running a Slugblaster game right now, and I'm playing in another one. I recorded an actual play episode, which I'll add in the description if you want to check that. I've written a 36-page expansion to the game. Again, I'll put it in the description. And I love this game. Here's why I think it's so good. First reason, it's upbeat and it's fun. Blades in the Dark and Candela Obscura are both a bit of a downer. Characters are in over their heads, it's an unfair world, there are dark forces hiding behind every corner, and often it's a struggle just to survive. Compared to that, Slugblaster is a breath of fresh air. You're pulling huge stunts, putting them online to get clicks. You're joking around with your crew and trying to get a one-up on each other. When you run into monsters, it's more like a Saturday morning cartoon than a horror show. And sure, there are moments when you're going to be feeling sad, but Slugblaster just hits different from so many other games. The writing is zany. It's just wild. And whether that's slamming back some amygdala rap battle flavored panic energy drink, or slicing dimensions off of things with your nega-friction sword, or blasting metaterrestrial slugs with your proton pistol, or combing the post-apocalyptic dunes of Astiche looking for the secret mega mall, there's just no end to the amount of the fun stuff that's in this book. Every dimension that you go to is going to feel unique and diverse, with plenty of cool things to do there. And if you're ever wanting something new, you can even roll up your own dimensions from some of the amazing tables that are in this game. The dice system? Well, Slugblaster's pretty simplified. It doesn't have actions like Blades or Candela Obscura. Instead, you always start with a die, and then you can add boost to add dice. And that's very similar to Drive in Candela Obscura. It's just something you cross off. You can also spend something called Kick that lets you do something bigger and more audacious, so you can do wilder tricks and things. It is very intuitive to pick up. I actually just ran a one-shot of it last weekend with a totally new group, and they had it figured out totally by the third roll. Every character also gets their very own awesome signature device, and that's like your own technical contraption that lets you do some really bonkers things. Like there's a hoverboard made out of pure light, a cannon that can alter reality, a sword made of nega-friction, whatever that is, that can cut holes in time-space, and a backpack that lets you pull objects from the multiverse. Think of them like really powerful magical items in D&D. They do things like increase your character's mobility, makes them tougher, stronger, and lets them get really creative in solving problems with them, which is something I really enjoy about the game. And then as you find components during the game, you can trade those in to unlock new abilities on these items, meaning that they grow along with you. Another thing that I really love is Downtime. goes really hard in Slugblaster. It does way more with Downtime than other Forged in the Dark games that I know. In Blades in the Dark and Candela Obscura, between missions you do get to spend a couple of actions recuperating and training, but these are fairly, shall we say, transactional efforts that you do. Whereas in Slugblaster, every time that you do something in Downtime, you are playing out a full scene, and your character is going to be doing things like engaging with the world and feeling their feelings, and getting in trouble with their parents, and building relations, and breaking those relations. Throughout your run, you'll be picking up Style, which is for doing tricks, and then Trouble for narrowly averting danger. And then after the run, you spend those Style and Trouble points to unlock scenes, which you then go and play out. And every scene ends up having a consequence that affects your character. You might learn new skills, or upgrade your signature devices, maybe gain some kind of lasting legacy or a bit of clout. You might earn new opportunities, or you might have some kind of upcoming doom that you have to deal with. And lastly, you may end up causing a fracture within your own group that can become a difficulty in role-playing. Slugblaster just makes Downtime vibrant, especially when players are willing to commit to it. So, look, I'm holding myself to 10 minutes here because I am the 10-minute DM, but what that means is I'm leaving so much on the table that I love about Slugblaster. It's just hit the cutting room floor. Like, for instance, did I mention the game that's being thrown up there right now on Backerkit comes in a pizza box? In my opinion, this is the indie game that deserves more attention than so many others that are out there because of how different the feel of it is. And if you do want to see this game on Backerkit, just go to www.slugblaster.com. It'll redirect you to the right page. It is in its final week of funding. The last day is going to be the 25th of October. But even afterwards, I expect that www.slugblaster.com email address is going to get you where you need to go in order to pick the game up for yourself, whether that's digital or a physical copy. Anyways, I've been DM Rawlings, your 10-minute DM, and if you do enjoy what you've been seeing here, hit that subscribe button. Thank you all very much.